Hi everyone, Misilla here. I finally got around to doing a garden tour for you guys. So I started up on our deck and I worked my way down over here. I hope that you guys enjoy this tour and find the tips helpful. There are a few tips along the way. So would love to know what you guys are growing in your garden, and I hope that everything is going well and you're having a great season. So and stay tuned, I'll be doing a video of the greenhouse that we're building. Well, not really a DIY video, just like some progress clips, because I didn't really get a chance to record all of it. My husband's building us a greenhouse. It's looking so wonderful, so I'll show you guys in this video as well. But anyways, let me know if you have any questions or share what you're growing in your garden. Leave a comment below, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and thanks again for joining me. Happy gardening. Here is a view from the back deck, so you can see the layout better. So herbs are on the border, so you can see. Got more herbs going this way, a couple of rosemary shrubs, some young herbs I planted about a month ago. There's an English thyme, lemon thyme, sage, lavender, box of greens and strawberries, lots of garlic and allium giganteum plants, still pretty small. Garden box of greens, peas, so more greens in those garden boxes back there. And over this way are a couple more garden boxes. And then this one is the raised bed that my husband built me about a couple of months ago. Pretty cool. Down below are some young fig trees that were given to us last summer by our auntie and uncle. Got them planted in these huge pots that we picked up from Costco. I think they're over at least 20 gallons, maybe bigger, except it did not specify on the label. So it's too bad. But anyways, there were at least, I think $15–16, so great deals on pots. And also I'll be taking these strawberries out sometime this summer or fall. This is their temporary home. I just didn't have a home for them. We have so many new strawberry plants, and I just don't like to kill plants. And they're actually flowering. Some of them have flower buds, so we'll get some fruit from them too. Now this one I am so excited about. My mom gave this tree to us, and it is an espalier apple tree. So the branches are trained sideways, so it's great for small spaces. You can grow this on your deck, or if you have a small yard, you can grow it along the fence. See, it's sideways. See how that's trained to do that? Now this is also a 5-way apple tree. Now it came with 4 varieties, but my mother grafted 2 honey crisp cuttings. Zoom in here so you can see those cuttings that took on. So now we have 5 varieties. So I believe the one right there to the left is semi-dwarf Liberty, then semi-dwarf Jonah Gold. This is semi-dwarf Yellow Delicious, and then we have a mystery one because the label came off, so we don't know what kind of apples these will produce. So I guess we will see. So excited to add this in our deck, or I might actually put it in the garden later on, but I didn't have time to do it this year, especially they were already blooming when my mom gave it to us, and I didn't want it to go to shock since it's in a pot. We have more strawberries growing in this vertical garden tower. This is by Green Stock. And over here are some containers that my kids are growing in. We just planted some Yukon Gold potatoes and Callie Kim's Smart Pot. Herb garden. We have some chocolate mint, rosemary, English thyme, and some lavender. And then we have this pizza garden that I planted with our littlest. So much fun. I think there's some peppers in there, dwarf tomato, basil, French shallot, jalapeno pepper, and some oregano. So great little kit. Here's a view of our mini orchard from our deck. Got the Victoria rhubarb growing right there. In between is a dwarf blackberry bush. Over in that row are some blueberry shrubs. I need to weed around them as soon as possible. There should be at least 5. There's a couple more behind a tree. Fuji apple trees. 2 of them. We lost the Honey Crisp, which is supposed to cross-pollinate with the Fuji apples. So we need to get another one back here. This one is a 5-way pear tree. Planted this about, I think, 4 years ago now, and it's pretty puny. I do need to weed around the trees. It looks like they could be fighting for nutrients if there are too many weeds. And little rock garden here with some plants. Let me go down the steps so you guys can see it better. Here's that rock garden bed that we put together last summer. I think some of the plants are dying, so I need to do some maintenance around here. But there is a fountain. It's really pretty when that's going. And then over here is an old plum tree that we cut back. Well, these are the baby trees now shooting from the old, I guess roots. So we cut back the old tree. It was really diseased. And looks like we got some new baby trees sprouting there. So we can divide these up and plant them somewhere else or give them away. This is the south side of the garden, and my husband is building us a greenhouse. So I haven't really recorded all of it, just short clips and pictures, and I'll be posting something about this soon, and I'll have him explain all the different parts and how he built it and all that stuff. So stay tuned for that, guys. I am so excited. So there's really not much going here. We're just kind of moving some stuff around, so it's a little bit of a mess. But these are just some young allium plants, or allium giganteum, that I transplanted from the front yard. So it's just random stuff. And thinking about planting some potatoes. Over here I've got some space. This is a pretty big garden box. I used to grow pole beans here, but it just got pretty shady, so we kind of stopped planting some plants that require more sun. But the potatoes should do fine over here. Moving towards the southwest side of the garden, getting sunny. It's Sunday morning around 10 o'clock right now. So a couple of garden boxes here. These are, I believe, 5 feet in length and about 3 feet wide. Got some elephant garlic growing in there. Some of them are volunteers. So I actually planted some strawberry plants here because we just got so many, and I wanted to divide them up and wanted to find them at home. So this could be their temporary home. But it's okay to plant garlic around them because the garlic can actually deter insect pests. So a lot of elephant garlic, and actually elephant garlics will self-seed. They will grow these garlic corms with an M, so corm, around their roots. And those are like the seeds of the elephant garlic. They're tiny clove-looking seeds. And if they're left in the ground, they will sprout. But the first season, it'll only sprout a bulb. And the second season, it'll divide into cloves, and you'll get that robust elephant garlic. And over in this bed are some more strawberry plants. So this is probably their temporary home. I'll be giving some plants away probably in the fall time. I just don't like to kill plants, guys. So also there are some potato volunteers. I planted potatoes here 2 and then 3 years ago, and they keep popping up. There's another one right there and over here. So it looks like it's going to be crowded in there. I might have to move some of the strawberry plants soon. And this must be an onion that I planted last year that sprouted in our pantry. So you can grow it for the greens and also, or let it go to seed and harvest the seeds. This is that raised bed garden box that my husband built. It's about 3.5 feet tall, so you don't have to bend over or reach down, so much easier. So if you guys have a small space, you can grow food. This is only 30 inches, 30 by 30 inches. So it's not that big, and you can grow a great amount of leafy greens. So this is dwarf bok choy, price head lettuce, red onions. These are actually both from Cali Kim, these seeds that I got, where I got them from. Purple bok choy, so beautiful, and tatsoi. And over on this side are some container gardening, or actually lots of plants that I have not planted yet, or that I actually transplanted in containers that I'll be giving away to friends and family. Actually, this is a goji berry plant that someone gave me, one of our viewers, so sweet, and that was Nikki. A young blueberry plant. These are all strawberry plants that I pulled from the ground. I just didn't want to kill them, guys, so I'm giving these away. Got some friends picking up some strawberry plants. Raspberry canes, sunflowers, geraniums, and fuchsia starts. Some young fig trees in containers. There's some sage cuttings that I propagated last summer. More strawberries back there. Some plants that I am winter sowing in those containers. So there are some tomatoes in there, kale, I believe some herbs, tarragon, marjoram. See, this one here is really neat. I'm so excited for this plant. This is chocolate berry, and it tastes kind of like coffee, in between coffee and chocolate. So some friends I met through social media gave this to me last year. So excited for that to grow. And some purple color tree starts since our big ones died, since we got so much snow. Some flowers that were growing. The primroses have died back already. But these beautiful anemone flowers are blooming and will attract bees and other pollinators. There are some nasturtium seedlings in there. Chives, mint. Oh, there's a bumblebee. I just saw one. Another anemone. This is scarlet red anemone. So beautiful. Look at that. And the pollinators just love them. And some primroses. These are the perennial types. They come back every year. This is that double English rose. So beautiful. I featured it before in one of my live streams. So we'll be getting some more flowers from that during late summer and fall. So I hopped onto the other side here. I wanted to show you guys the herbs that we're growing. So we'll start right here with the herb garden. These are young lemon balm plants. They propagate prolifically. They are part of the mint family. Don't let them go to seed, otherwise you're going to be pulling lemon balm seedlings all over your garden. They spread like fire. This is garlic chives that are about to bloom, and these are edible. The flowers are edible. You can actually put this in like a whipped butter. It's really good, and put it on French bread. So anyways, this is actually getting really tall. It's about 18 inches tall and lots of greens. So what we're going to be doing soon is cutting this back all the way to about maybe a couple inches above the ground, and it should sprout some more greens, kind of like a come and cut again chives. So that way it can stimulate the plant to produce more greens rather than more flowers. Over here is actually an onion that sprouted in the pantry, and I stuck this in the ground last November, and it looks like it's growing some smallish bulbs. Now the second season onion, guys, will produce smaller bulbs and more likely go to seed and flower and go to seed. So if you want to regrow onion scraps or old onions, you can plant them, absolutely plant them, and harvest the greens like you would with spring onions. Look at this. We have so many greens. I kind of want to make like a Korean pancake out of this. It will be really good. And again, the bulbs are going to be smallish, but at least you can still use the small bulbs. And also, if you want to collect the seeds, let it go to flower and seed. Got some mint going here. So I actually just left them in the ground, and I don't mind it because it's so pretty. Just be careful, guys, because they do put out runners. They propagate prolifically just like the lemon balm, and they'll take over your garden if you don't maintain them. Just make sure to cut back some of the runners like this ones here. I might cut these young plants here and just leave the more mature plants in the background right here. But also growing all these herbs, guys, will help deter insect pests and also mosquitoes. So great benefits, and also attract pollinators, especially when the herbs are flowering. So it's really great to integrate herbs in your garden. Well, here is a stevia plant. It's usually a warm loving herb, so hopefully it'll do better as the weather gets warmer. And over in this pot is some chocolate mint. I love chocolate mint. It smells so good and it tastes so yummy. Great in teas. Some young herb plants. This is curly parsley, Italian parsley, dill, pineapple sage. I have not grown pineapple sage for 4 years. Beautiful trumpet-shaped flowers, and the hummingbirds love them. I also planted some young purple bok choy right near the herbs. You can see those, so pretty. And some cilantro seedlings popping up. Cilantro is another great herb. It self-seeds, so they come back every year. I rarely have to sow seeds anymore. I just let them go to seed. I collect the seeds too, but some of them fall on the ground, so they self-seed. Now let's go along the border of herbs. This is sage, coming along nicely. It's about to flower. Beautiful leaves. Now my rosemary looks like it's dying. We got a lot of snow this season or last season, and so it looks like I'm gonna have to cut it back, but there are some more green leaves coming up. So yeah, I don't know if it's gonna make it. Looks like most of it's dead. And lavender as well, looks like it suffered the snow this year, but there are some green leaves, so I'll probably just cut back the ones that are dead. You should always cut back any dead foliage or stems. That way it can stimulate the plant to grow more stems and leaves for you, so that way they are healthier. Oregano, lemon balm, more lavender. These lemon balm plants are actually the more established ones. They are get really big. They get about to 3 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. So make sure you're also spacing out your herbs when you plant them, because they can grow really big. As long as you give them all that room, they will spread. This is oregano. This is a huge one, guys. It's about, looks like 3 feet in the diameter. So a very bushy plant. I need to cut these back and then we can dry some herbs. That's coming up soon, so I'll be doing that soon. So anyways, try to space them out at least 2 to 3 feet apart if you're planting them in the ground. I remember spacing them out at least 2 feet, but as you can see, they're getting pretty close to each other. Lemon balm plants. We got some more herbs here. This is English thyme, lemon thyme, Bergarten sage I planted about a month ago. Still small. More lavender, young lavender plants. And over here are a couple of rosemary I propagated, I think almost 3 years ago now from cuttings. Look how big they are now. So yeah, don't forget, you guys can propagate your herbs. Just take the new shoots or the new growth on the top and like the soft stem, not the woody ones, and they should root for you easily. Okay, now time for the garden. So let's walk up this path here and show you what we have growing. So over to my left are some strawberries, our strawberry patch. Right along there, and I thinned them out already. That way they're not so crowded. A lot of them are setting flowers, which is great. These are the more mature plants. I planted a lot of these, or most of them 2 years ago, but they just kept reproducing. And all I'm using is worm castings on these guys. Have had really great results with worm castings. It seems like our plants produce more plants, more flowers, and more fruit. Here are some peas. More on the other side there too. So I'm going to flip the camera over on this side to my left and show you more strawberries. So another row of strawberries as well. And these are actually very healthy. Stay tuned, guys, because I've been experimenting with these strawberry plants. All these leaves are huge. So these are the ones I fed worm castings first, and on to the left I just fed them recently. So I'm doing an experiment and just seeing the difference. You can see the results. It's amazing. I left, oh, there's a kale plant right there. And this is perpetual blueberry. So it bears fruit twice per season, once in the summer and again in the fall. So this is the one I just planted about 6 weeks ago in the ground. A couple more blueberry bushes here. So I'm actually adding more of the fruits on this side because we get more sun. I know we have that mini orchard on the other side of the yard, but all the trees are growing, so a lot of the fruit trees or strawberry or blueberry shrubs are shaded. So another blueberry bush here. This is Spartan, the variety Spartan, and it's hardy to zone 5. Lots of flowers there. So we'll be getting some berries this year, guys. More anemones, scarlet anemone flowers. Over on this garden bed are some leafy greens. Mizuna, beautiful variety. It's got the purple stems. This is called Houshi. I got it from Baker Creek Seeds. So a row of Mizuna, mild flavor. Love this mustard greens. Some cilantro volunteers along to the left there. Some red onions growing along the side of the garden box. Spinach seedlings. And more spinach over here. These are some clover. So guys, if you see clover in your garden, don't pull them up. I let them grow and I actually cut them back right before they set flower because it feeds our plants. Check this out, guys. So I pulled up this clover plant. Now clover is a nitrogen fixing plant or weed. So they have a symbiotic relationship with the Rhizobia bacteria that lives in the soil. What this Rhizobia bacteria does is it extracts nitrogen from the air, convert it into nitrates that the plants can use, and store them in these root nodules that they form along the roots of the plant. Now, in order for the nitrogen to be released into the soil, you'll have to cut back the plant when it starts to flower. During that stage, the nodules will contain the most nitrogen, and that way the plants don't use the nitrogen stored in the nodules to reproduce or flower. Over in this row are some elephant garlic to the left, some potatoes to the right. Now, I know I should have spaced them out more, but I was kind of in a hurry to plant these potatoes that were sprouting in our compost pile that I found a month ago. Just make sure you feed your plants enough if you're using compost or worm castings. That way they don't fight for nutrients. Now, I mainly just use worm castings throughout the garden and some compost when I have it. Sometimes I buy it from the store locally if I don't have enough around to go in the garden. So that way they don't fight for nutrients. So make sure you give them enough nutrients and make sure to fertilize your garlic this month sometime before they start the bulb formation. So I'll be doing that soon with some worm castings, so stay tuned for that. So more potatoes here. Now these are some borage that went to seed from last summer. They self-seed easily. I actually pulled out a lot of borage seedlings. So borage is an easy flower to grow. The flowers and leaves are edible. They taste kind of like cucumbers. And again, they will self-seed, so they're pretty easy to grow flowers, and also will attract pollinators to your garden. Some red onions over here and also along that little box there. We have some raspberry canes growing along here. That's going to be going up the trellis there for support. I actually moved all these from the mini orchard because they were shaded, so they'll do better, much better in full sun, guys. So if you're growing raspberries, plant them in full sun if you can, in a well-draining soil, but fertile soil. So more raspberries over there and more garlic. These are hardneck variety garlic. I think there's 2 rows of garlic here. They're planted again last fall. So if you're planting garlic, guys, make sure to plant them in the fall. They need that cold treatment in order for them to form those robust bulbs. Some Russian kale that are flowering, letting these flower for the bees, and also so that way we can collect some seeds. These are all Russian kale. So more garlic on this side. And these are Egyptian walking onions. Our friends gave us some cloves last year. So excited to grow these. So another view of the garlic from the other side. Some allium plants. These are the flowering allium giganteum plants. It looks like they're drying out. I need to water them. We've gotten so much sun and not enough rain lately. So more allium giganteum here. And then some more garlic. So I usually plant garlic throughout the garden. Because of their pungent smell, it can help deter insect pests, and also because they contain sulfur, because of the pungent smell, that helps too. But also it is actually an antifungal, so it can actually help with fungus or prevent fungal diseases if you plant them near your other plants. So over on this box, so just a mixture of greens, some flower bulbs over here on the left side on the edge. Bok choy flowering, going to seed. Yay, we're gonna get some more seeds. And over here are some broccoli to the right, some red onions, red cabbage, radish, price head lettuce. Now we've had problems with squirrels digging up everything, guys, so I've been having to sow seeds, resowing, and they just keep digging up the garden. Look at all this. I mean, the carrots were all dug up except a small little strip of carrots. So this is a beautiful lettuce variety here. This is from Calicum's seed collection. I love this variety of lettuce. And some more garlic on the border here. One last garden box with some strawberries that I relocated about a couple of weeks ago. Some scarlet kale and another kale variety in there that the squirrels are digging up again. So poor seedlings. So that sums it up, guys. So I'm down here now, so give you a quick view of the garden. There's the fig trees growing in pots that I showed you earlier from the deck. Excuse the mess in the background. Chicken coop, chicken run, the 2 garden boxes. There we go.